Grandview's been around for, well, since almost the beginnings of the city.
It's a crisp fall morning, and Grandview-Woodland residents have gathered to take part in a heritage walk to listen to stories about the iconic houses in their culture-rich neighborhood, some of which are being lost.
Who's from this neighborhood here? So we're almost all of us, yeah. So we know what's happening, right? And we're going to see some of those effects today.
Local concern about heritage preservation has grown after the Queen Anne-style mansion, fondly known as Brooke House, was given the permit to be demolished. Grandview-Woodland Area Council member and neighbor to Brooke House, Craig Ohlenberger, is concerned about what this will mean for heritage in the future.
Well, the city doesn't really have any money to put toward this sort of thing, or at least they haven't found the money. I mean, they have as much money as they want to put toward any number of things, but heritage isn't something that seems very high on their list. So unfortunately, it falls to local groups like the Grandview Heritage Group to really put heritage on the mind of the local residents. And it's just really a shame when, even with the efforts of the Heritage Group, great old houses like 1872 Parker get lost.
The Grandview-Woodland Group has taken it upon themselves to recognize houses that aren't on the Heritage Register.
What they're looking to do is to identify houses in the area that have some character to it, that are important to the neighborhood. And so what they do is anything older than 100 years, they have they're making lists of it, and then they're celebrating about 30 or 40 of them every year, and making having well-known historians put together thorough write-ups on the houses.
Grandview-Woodland Area Council President Jack King, who is also a member of the Grandview Heritage Group, voices his concerns about the problem with the system.
That's the apparent onerous nature of the Heritage Revitalization Agreement.
King and Ohlenberger believe that the HRA process is what deterred the Brooke House's new owner from saving it.
In the end, the Heritage Revitalization Agreement fell through, and so he went back to his original plan and got a local design company to basically put forward a design to the city.
City Councillor Andrea Weimer explains that the Heritage Conservation Act requires the city to compensate owners if they want to designate the building as a heritage property. However, without this designation, they have no legal ability to conserve the property in the existing zoning. Houses can also be added to the city's heritage register.
Those who care about it and those who value and who have possibly spent a lot of time working on them, yeah, they love that plaque, right? You can obtain plaques by contacting the city. Not every house will get a plaque.
They stopped putting buildings on the Heritage Register years ago because I guess it costs some money, so they stopped doing it. But even being on the Heritage Register doesn't give you that much protection. It's a terrible loss to lose Brooke House.
The city hasn't made much of an effort to keep these houses.
For the East Vancouver Beat, this is Kristen Harpula.